India, the world's most populous country, has a distinct demographic and economic environment. It's an important factor due to its wide population, diverse workforce, and rising economy. From 2019 until 2023, India saw consistent. With a diverse population, rich culture, heritage, and a mixed economy, India plays a significant role in the global economy. The country operates under a federal parliamentary democratic system and has a multi-sectoral economy, including agriculture, manufacturing, and a gross service sector. First, population. India's population was estimated to be 1.44 billion people in 2023 with a well-balanced gender ratio. The continued increase in population reflects natural growth and greater healthcare access, but it also offers issues in terms of employment, infrastructure, and resource allocation. Next, economic performance (GDP). Indian GDP started a steady increase in 2020 following a temporary decrease caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. India's GDP was predicted to reach over 3.57 trillion USD by 2023. This boom was facilitated by growing global trade connection, digital innovation, and increased industrial productivity. Next, labor force. Indian workforce grew considerably from 471 million in 2019 to 540 million by 2023. Agriculture accounts for a sizable portion of the labor market, but the service and manufacturing sector have progressively contributed to job prospects. However, a significant share of work remains informal, causing issues for productivity and economic stability. Thus, unemployment and inflation. Unemployment fell from 6.38% in 2021 to 4.17% in 2013, demonstrating a modest recovery in job creation following the epidemic. Meanwhile, inflation rate fluctuated but appeared to stabilize near the conclusion of the period, with inflation declined to roughly 3.16% by 2025. Next, economic issue. Inflation. Inflation is one of the major economic challenges in India. It's referred to the general increase in the price of the good and service, which reduce the purchasing power of the money. Between 2001 until 2007, India experienced fluctuating inflation rates ranging from 10.9% to 6.02%. This price instability creates uncertainty for household and business, affecting their ability to plan and manage a finance. In addition, inflation caused firms to allocate resources toward Inflation caused firms to allocate resources toward adjusting a price instead of focusing on productive output, which can reduce overall economic efficiency. The depreciation of money value during inflation also lead to decline in real income, making it harder for people to maintain their standard of living. Unemployment or lack of employment is another significant economic right issue highlighted in the study. From 2001 until 2007, India's unemployment rate from 10.20% to 7.5% with fluctuation year to year. Height means that a large number of the capable individuals are not involved in the productivity activity, leading to a loss in national output (GDP). These unemployed individuals also do not contribute to tax revenue, increasing the burden on taxpayers who must support government service. Persistent unemployment reflects the structural problem in the labor market, including limited industrial development and insufficient job creation. It also contributes to low living standard and social instability.
Situation in India. There are three types that cause inflation in India. The first type, which is imported inflation, whereby increase in price by global price currency depreciation. This inflation give effect that reduce purchasing power because of money can only buy less than before. The investment also drop as business were cautious when want to invest in the market. For the second type, inflation, which is cost push inflation due to rising production costs, present fuel price hikes, import and wages increase. For the last type, which is demand pull happen because of excessive aggregate seen increase when household consumption increase significantly while the supply not sufficient. For this part, we will tell you about what the causes of inflation. For those first causes of inflation, which is price adjustment cost, which is when the price rise, seller use resources to adjust price, such as adjusting their price tag or changing the menu. For the second cause of inflation, it is wages demand due to unexpected inflation, which is unexpected inflation causes workers to demand higher wages because of their real income falls. The third cause of inflation it is reduction in the value of money. Inflation reduces the purchasing power of money, which push people to spend quickly before price rising further. It is adding demand pressure. For the last type causes of inflation, it is lack of production. Unemployment lead to lower production when goods and service are limited but demand remain the same or increases. Price rise, which is known as supply side inflation.
The effects of inflation in India, there are four effects. The first one is lower employment and output. Inflation often leads to uncertainty in the economy. When prices rise unpredictably, businesses face higher production costs and may cut back on hiring or reduce operations to manage expense. This results in lower job creation and decreased overall economic output. Second one is reduce in investment. High inflation discourages both domestic and foreign investment. Investors are hesitant to commit resources when the future value of returns is uncertain due to fluctuating prices. The third one is consumption drops. As the cost of goods and services increase, the purchasing power of consumers decrease. This will affect especially among lower income households. For the fourth one, real wages decline. Real wages refer to the purchasing power of income after adjusting for inflation. During inflationary during inflation in India, wages often do not increase at the same rate as prices. This means even if nominal salary rise, workers can afford less with their income.
So, for unemployment situation in India, the article leans heavily on Keynesian economic theory, which posits that unemployment results from insufficient aggregate demand according to John Maynard Keynes, 1936. When demand falls short, business cut production and jobs, leading to unemployment. He advocated for government intervention, especially increased government expenditure to stimulate demand and reduce unemployment. The study also referenced the Wagnerian theory, which suggests that as a nation's income rises, so does its public expenditure. This implies that economic growth, rising GDP, should naturally lead to more employment through increased government activity. However, the study finds that in India, despite rising national income, unemployment has remained high, challenging the assumption that economic growth alone can resolve unemployment problems.
Types of unemployment in India. They have two types of unemployment in India. First is cyclical unemployment. Cyclical unemployment is related to up and down of economy and fluctuates of business cycle. This will lead to job loss, precisely increase the unemployment rate, and result to economic collapse. The second one is frictional unemployment. Frictional unemployment is referred to short-term or temporary unemployment which occurs when people enter the labor market to look for a job or people leaving their job, either voluntary or asked to go, and employment for a period while they are looking for a new job. After that, they have more impact of unemployment in India. According to the article, unemployment in India has led to several negative consequences. One of impact of unemployment in India is reduced consumption and purchasing power. Second, wasted investment in human capital. Third, intergenerational impact. Fourth, low human development index (HDI). In this article, we get that India unemployment rate increased from 6.4% in 2008 to 6.9% in 2017, even as GDP grew, showing a disconnect between growth and job creation.
So, for policies of overcome unemployment, so there are four types of policy, which is a fiscal policy tools. A public investment in infrastructure and services creates immediate job opportunities and long-term productivity gains. Social safety nets and skill development programs can improve employability and reduce income uncertainty. Second, targeted human capital development. Investing in education and vocational training to match labor supply with demand. So, it can addressing structural mismatches between education and job market needs. The one, encouraging private sector employment, tax incentive for business hiring more workers, and ease of doing business reforms. Last one, monetary policy coordination, although not the paper's main focus, keeping inflation in check supports real wages and purchasing power, encouraging business expansion and hiring.
Finally, the article comes to the conclusion that whereas unemployment has a less direct impact on expenditure and well-being, inflation has a negative impact on India's GDP. Spending by the government increases growth and lowers unemployment. Therefore, stable prices, the creation of jobs, and long-term economic growth depend heavily on public policies. Thank you.